All righty, we are live. Good morning, everyone. My name is Liza Convoy, and I am the Business Engagement Manager for the Kent Chamber of Commerce. And today I am joined by Lynn Strickland, who's the Executive Director for AJAC, also known as the Aerospace Joint Apprenticeship Committee. Good morning. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Well, good morning. Good morning to you and everybody else. And thank you to the Kent Chamber for having me.
Yeah, we're so excited to get into it this morning. I wanted to start off with, some basic AJAC information. Can you tell us a little bit about the mission of AJAC?
So, really, the mission. So, I can actually read you the mission, but then we can kind of go into it. So, the mission of AJAC is that we are an industry driven apprenticeship organization. And so, we were founded on the belief that mastery actually occurs on the job. So, through pre apprenticeship, youth apprenticeship, and adult apprenticeship, we believe that all people have the opportunity to earn competitive wages, find meaning and fulfilling work, and pursue lifelong learning. So basically, we are an apprenticeship organization. We like to say that we are kind of the liaison or the intermediary between all of the stakeholders within apprenticeship. So, that includes the employer, that includes the apprentice, that includes other organizations that we work with. We have strong partnerships with our community and technical colleges, our workforce development systems, our K through 12. So we try to be that organization that makes it a lot easier for each one of the stakeholders to be able to participate in the apprenticeship model of training and stuff. So, we are workforce development, but we're a segment of workforce development. Apprenticeships have been around in the United States for over 100 years. And I think that we're kind of getting back to, that kind of earn while you learn model. We have people that, go on to post-secondary. And then there's other people that want to go directly into the workforce. So we provide, those apprenticeship opportunities, and we provide those pathways or ramps into industry through our youth apprenticeship, as well as our pre-apprenticeship program. So.
Wonderful. Yeah, that sounds like a really great model, and
Mm-hmm.
and it sounds like it's been working for AJAC, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Can you give some examples of some of the programs that AJAC offers?
Yeah, sure. So, I like to think about it as like three main pedestals. So our main pedestal is registered apprenticeship. But we are an incumbent worker registered apprenticeship. So that means that a prospective apprentice has to be actually working with one of our partnering employers. But we also provide pathways, like I, previously mentioned, into industry. So through our youth apprenticeship and our pre-apprenticeship programs, those provide individuals with the knowledge, skills, and abilities necessary to be able to get their foot in the door, and then go ahead and get their foot in the door. And we hope that in partnership with the employer, those individuals can continue their education and training in those ways. So, but the youth apprenticeship, the on ramps, as I like to call them, or the pathways, are a little bit different. The youth apprenticeship piece, that is actually a registered apprenticeship. But it allows for individuals as young as 16. So we have high school students that are engaging in registered apprenticeship, which means that they're doing their high school work, they're taking college level courses, and during the school year, they're working at least 20 hours a week. And then in the summertime, they can work up to full time, but they're also getting college credit as well as high school credit. And by the end, they have 2,000 hours structured on the job training. And what we see with some of our apprentices, they go directly into industry and they get into our more advanced apprenticeship programs, or they go on to a 4-year university, or they go on to a 2-year, or they just kind of stay in industry. But it just kind of gives them the real world knowledge of what it's like to be in the advanced manufacturing industries. And then with our pre-apprenticeship is anywhere from 10 to 12 weeks. And that really is designed to give people the knowledge and skills that they need to be able to get their foot into the door, and then to get into a registered apprenticeship or some kind of continued training. So we started that program back in 2011, and it was really for adults who were transitioning or long-term dislocated, transitioning from one industry to another, long-term dislocated. But we've really expanded that program. So we actually offer that program to currently incarcerated young men. We actually work that program is actually offered to women who are currently incarcerated, so that when these individuals transition back into their communities, they have this knowledge and skills to be able to be self-sufficient and be productive parts of the community. We also have the program that is offered to opportunity youth, and with the young people that we work with in this program, we also try to attach an internship, a paid internship, so they kind of have that industry experience for about 10 to 12 weeks also. And then from there, we try to connect them to partnering employers that are hiring. And hopefully they continue their education and training through registered apprenticeship. So,
wow, that's impressive. That's an impressive list. It really sounds like that. You guys are providing like a vast amount of opportunity for a bunch of different people in different stages in their life, and that's really exciting that folks have access to like programs like this. I'm a little bit like, I didn't know that there was that much going into it, and there was that much available to people. So that's impressive. I'll say that.
And what I would say also on the registered apprenticeship piece of that, we're a little bit different than traditional apprenticeships. So in that we now some apprenticeships do operate this way, but we intentionally partner with our community and technical college partners there because apprenticeship is about 7% classroom and about 93% structured on the job training. So you're getting the theory, but you're able to practice that theory in a real world setting. So apprentices are employed full time with benefits. They go to class about one night a week. But what we also do, that partnership with the colleges is important because they review the curriculum that we have and they attach college credit to it. So in the state of Washington, if you are a registered apprentice taking apprenticeship classes that have college credit attached to them, you get 50% reduced tuition. And so at the end of the apprenticeship, it's about 3 to 4 years. We have apprenticeships that are anywhere from 2.5 years to 5 years, but at least 3 to 4 years. If that apprentice then goes on to take 3 to 4 general education classes, that apprentice can earn a associate's degree, a 2-year degree. So a 2-year degree, 50% reduced tuition, 0 college debt. So, that's also a great thing about the registered apprenticeship. So,
well, you sold me.
Okay, all right, sign up.
Nice to know that there are other opportunities for me out there. What about Well, so I guess that is a transition for some folks that might not know. You used the words advanced manufacturing. Do you have some examples of what that means or what that looks like?
Yeah, and I just kind of want to go back. So when AJAC first started in 2008, it really was specific to the aerospace industry. That we have a lot of great workforce development systems, but apprenticeship, in the supply chain really wasn't there. So for many years we were in the aerospace industry, but pretty much after the recession, just like many employers, we decided to diversify. So while we still work in aerospace, we also work in biomedical industries, defense industries, food manufacturing and processing, if you can believe that, which I hope you do because we do, manufacturing, space and defense and stuff. So, when I say advanced manufacturing, that really does include a lot of different industries. If somebody's in the aerospace industry, the skills that they acquire in a certain occupation, they can actually go over to the space industry or the defense industry. Industries don't want me to say that, but that's kind of the way that we want to train people because, we know that industries ebb and flow, and so, if one industry is having a challenge, that person can take those skills and go to a different industry and still succeed and be successful and stuff. So, we have 13 occupations on our standards, our registered apprenticeship standards, which means that there's 13 occupations that we train to. We have a machinist, industrial maintenance, and 2 of those occupations are youth. So it really is those kinds of occupations. If you're interested and you're like, what is a machinist? What is advanced manufacturing? I mean, it really is. You look at anything that we have or utilize, somebody had to make that. Somebody had to manufacture those products, so the industry is diverse and there's so many different ways that people can go based upon their interest, based upon where they're at. We have expanded out onto the eastern side of the state, and we're into a lot of the food process and manufacturing over there, which is really interesting. There's so many companies and there's so many opportunities and stuff. So, but if you're wondering what is a machinist, if you're wondering what is an industrial maintenance, person do, if you go to our website at www.ajactraining.org, we do actually have videos up there that just kind of explain what the occupation is, so.
Okay. That's great. Yeah, a wonderful resource if you're looking to get into a new profession or a new apprenticeship. And yeah, the amount of opportunity, I'm a little bit blown away. I'm very impressed. And so, like you said, AJAC has been in business since 2008. So you definitely have some experience under your belt as an organization, which is awesome. And it sounded like you touched on it a little bit, but I wonder if there's anything more specific that you'd like to speak to about what might set AJAC apart from other programs like it, other programs offering apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeships.
Well, first, I will say that registered apprenticeship in and of itself, whatever occupation, I think is just a great way to go. I went through the traditional route. I didn't know anything really about apprenticeship until after I got out of the military and was working for a small organization that had an apprenticeship program, and I was like, man, this would have been great to know in high school and stuff, So I went through the traditional route. But what I like about AJAC is that, we really do work with the small to medium-sized employers, right? We work with larger employers too, but about 94% of the employers that we work with have anywhere from 1 to 4 apprentices in the program at a time, and so these are generally, the organizations that don't have huge training budgets, but they need people that they need to train. And so AJAC from the beginning, we have a percentage of our funding is a state investment. And so we really do see that as the opportunity to be able to give back to the business community, and to be able to help them with their workforce development needs. And so what I would say, what really sets us apart is that we really do work with that small to medium-sized employer, and we absolutely welcome larger employers. We have a few that we work with, but I think it really is getting those small to medium-sized employers in a consortium, right? Because if you have 1 to 2 people to train, it's hard to go to some of the workforce development systems and get those people trained. So we gather, groups and consortiums of small to medium-sized employers so that we have enough that we are able to train and they're able to, get their career in education and training, in a consortium type of model. So, I would say that that's what we're really proud about. We work with about 325 or so and counting. We add training agents every day across the state of Washington. And again, it's everywhere from up north all the way down south and all the way to the east side of that, and we actually see ourselves expanding into Idaho and down in Oregon, with how we're offering and stuff. So, I would say that really is what sets us apart, is that focus on the small to medium-sized employers in that supply chain that need training for individuals that might not have, 10 to 15 to 20 people to train at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's great, because it sounds like that arrangement, kind of benefits everybody involved. Not only are your apprentices, getting college or high school credit or both, and then the on-the-job training that they would need, but that they the organizations that you're working with are also getting well trained, ready to go folks on the job. So it's a good model. It's a great model. And then you did mention that you were in the military. And so that, again, good segue. I am curious kind of about your journey and, how you got started with AJAC.
If you'd told me that I would be involved in apprenticeship and running a apprenticeship organization, I I would have been surprised, but not really, because I've always had a love for education. I think that that's something that's been instilled in me by my mother. You know, she was like, get education, get as much as you can in any form that you can. So I knew that I would be involved in some type of, educational setting. And so after my traditional 4-year college, I'm a military kid. So I had that itch to be able to go into the military. I went in a little bit later at 27, but, I enjoyed my time there. I served for 9 years. And then when I got out, as I mentioned before, I started working for a organization that was small at the time. It's expanded now. And they had a small apprenticeship program. And I was like, wow, this apprenticeship program, this apprenticeship style of learning and training is really interesting. And from there, I got connected with Bates Technical College because Bates Technical College was one of their partners. And then, a few years down the road, I wound up being a dean of instruction at Bates Technical College. And part of my portfolio was registered apprenticeships, as well as career training and continuing education. And then when I think that when AJAC came around, Bates was the first college that AJAC worked with. So having had that experience with apprenticeship, which I thought was really cool, and most of that was in the building and construction trades, my understanding of apprenticeship, AJAC again was that little bit of a different apprenticeship program in an industry that really didn't have a whole lot of an apprenticeship presence, but the college education or the college credits, as well as being able to apply that on the job while you're earning, I just thought was impressive in what AJAC was doing. So I came on in 2012 as a program manager for the PreApprenticeship, became deputy director in 2014, and then executive director the same year. So it's been a great journey.
Yeah, impressive. Climbing the ladder. I love to see it. Yeah. Well, I will say thank you for your service. But I like to, you are here to talk about the organization, but I do, like to learn a little bit more about the personal side of that same journey. So thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
So then going, macro again, as far as the organization as a whole, you might be able to talk about some of the accomplishments that AJAC has had recently or otherwise.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I think that we are most proud of is being able to have and to start a statewide registered youth apprenticeship program. There was a youth apprenticeship over in the Spokane area that had been going on for a while, and so as stated in our mission statement, we are industry driven, and industry it really wants access to individuals at a younger age, So when I first came to AJAC, I think the average age of the apprentice was 33. And so you talk about that 10-year drift, 10 to 15-year drift. We talk about it in the apprenticeship community all the time. The average age of an apprentice, I think in Washington State is about 27 or 28. So still you have that, the 10 to 12-year drift before people really, what I would say, find their groove or get into their groove and or discover, apprenticeship. So, we figured that, hearing from our employers are saying we need access to, and we want access to younger people to let them know about the opportunities that are available in industry, and so in 2017, with the support of Governor Inslee and some other organizations, we started Youth Apprenticeship, our first cohort of Youth Apprenticeship, and so now, we've gone from one occupation to two, and we're looking at expanding that out. But we've actually expanded that out across the state, and that includes in Eastern Washington as well as on this side of the mountains. And it really does provide young people an opportunity to understand in real world terms, the occupations that are available to them. Whether they stay in that occupation, they're exposed to so many things in the real world setting. And they're getting paid for it, which is not bad either. Parents really like that. But it just kind of sets them, and gives them that opportunity, at a much younger age, and hopefully they won't drift, like a lot of people do, So we've seen the average age of our apprentice go from 33 to about 26 or 27, just with implementing youth apprenticeship and getting younger people into the pipeline a lot sooner. So I think that is a great accomplishment. We couldn't do it by ourselves. We had so many different partners, to include our K through 12, our community and technical colleges, the governor's office, employers, our workforce development councils. I mean, everybody just came together, and we were able to do that. And Career Launch, is also a great program and great programs for young people, where they have everything from career exploration all the way to career launch. So our pre-apprenticeship is a career launch opportunity, that we've attached that internship piece to that, and it does the same thing. It gives them an awareness of industry, different industries and occupation, and it allows them that opportunity to have that real world engagement with industry. So I think that's something that we're really proud of.
Yeah, I definitely should be. I think that's really impressive, especially because you're able to sort of, have a little bit of statistical knowledge on, what that age looks like now. And the idea that young people have this opportunity and are, have access to the knowledge and, what's out there for them, and have access to actually get started a lot sooner is really exciting. And, or if there's young people who know what they want to do, you guys are there for them to, help them hit the ground running. So that's really exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. So now is kind of the time I want to be able to give you some time for I like to say, a shameless plug. So if AJAC is hiring, I'd love to, hear a little bit about that. Or if, you have cohorts you're looking to fill, if that applies, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, there's thank you for that. So there's a lot going on with AJAC, with all of our programs, whether it's registered apprenticeship, youth apprenticeship, or pre-apprenticeship. I think that we are in our recruiting stage for our youth apprenticeship right now. We always have cohorts going on for our pre-apprenticeship, and one of the things during the pandemic that we did with all of our programs was to be able to flip them online. And so now we're able to offer, we still do some of our registered apprenticeship online, and some of our youth apprenticeship, but our pre-apprenticeship, we actually have an opportunity, and we do a statewide program now. So we have people from up north, we have people, maybe down in Vancouver, and we have people over in Yakima and Spokane that are able to participate in the online training, and we send them information and kits and materials to their home. To try to still have that piece of, on the job or hands-on learning for them too. So we're continually recruiting for those. Employers that we work with are starting to hire again. So what we are able to do is, for people who complete our program and for people who are just looking to get into industry, we are able to connect them to the employers. We have a job club that we run for individuals who may be transitioning, from one industry to another. We help them with their resume. We look at it and we recommend either further training or say, no, you are ready for industry. And we try to connect them with the hiring employers, so there's so much going on. And again, as I can see the website scrolling through there, go to our website, and ask for information. We have information on all those different programs there. And, one of the other things is that, as we have expanded out into other industries, we're trying to see if Aerospace Joint Apprenticeship Committee still works for us. And so since we're outside of so many industries, we're going to be doing a marketing push, because when we go to an employer like Chateau St. Michelle, and we have aerospace, they might not want to open the door because they might not think that they have nothing to do with aerospace and stuff. So we're going to be doing a marketing push. I mean, we're still going to be AJAC, and we'll be AJAC apprenticeship programs or something like that. So look for that little rework on our marketing and our name and stuff, hopefully coming this summer and stuff, just to be able to better represent the many industries and stuff that we're in. I would say again that a lot of the employers that we're working with, they're hiring. If you're an employer and you're interested and you want some more information, please feel free to contact us. We have business developers, which we call regional program managers, in each and every region. They can come out, they can talk to you, they can kind of look at your shop, and they can kind of help you, to determine what your workforce development needs are. We realize, apprenticeship might not be a good fit for everybody, but we're still willing to talk to those employers because we have great partnerships, again, with so many other workforce development systems or agencies that we could probably connect them. So any kind of information you want, go to our website and kind of search around and then contact us, and then we'll be more than willing to help.
Perfect. Well, that sounds good to me. And you guys heard it here first. AJAC does it all. You guys do everything. That's great. Well, I just want to say that this has been great. I really appreciate you spending some time with us here this morning. And we're really grateful as a chamber for our partnership with AJAC, being that AJAC is a bronze investor with us. So just wanted to throw that in there. But yeah, I am really, really grateful you got on here with us this morning. And if there is any of our viewers, if you're looking for more information, we're happy to connect you with Lynn or anybody on her team, or we will send you some more information about their website and so forth. But that is all the questions I have for you. So like I said, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining us.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you, Kent Chamber. And happy now to be located in the city of Kent.
All right.
So awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.